Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been so long and I miss you guys so much. Anyway, so today we're going to be making porridge yam. That's the Nigerian porridge yam. I don't know what it's called in other countries, but here we call it porridge yam. So first you're going to start with your palm oil, and then I also like to add a bit of vegetable oil as well. Then I'm going to go in with my chopped onions. So this is the way I like to cut my onions for porridge yam. Okay, so I go in with my chopped onions. Note, you don't want to use too much onions because it would make your porridge yam to look black, and that's not what you want. Okay, so then I go in with my Scotch bonnets, as my blended Scotch bonnets, and then now I'm adding in my blended red bell peppers or Tatase. You could use any one. If you're using Tatase or red bell peppers, make sure you deseed it so that your pepper mix is not bitter. Then I go in with a bit of fresh tomatoes, blended fresh tomatoes. Then I cover the pot and I let it to cook so that it could fry until, how you know it's ready is when you see the oil floating to the top. So once you see the oil starts floating to the top, your sauce is fried properly and it's ready. So then I'm going to go in with my seasoning cubes, and then once I put in my seasoning cubes, the next thing I'm going to be putting in is my stock flakes. Now this stock flakes is completely optional. You do not have to use it, but I'm going to be using it because I like the flavor stockfish gives to my porridge yam. Okay, so the stock flakes is basically the flesh of your stockfish. It's the flesh of your stockfish. So basically it's the flesh of the stockfish that has been cut into tiny pieces. Okay, so once I fry the bit, I'm going to be going in with my water that is going to cook my yam, and then I cover the pot, and then once I see it starts like bubbling a bit, I go in with my crayfish. Now also, you do not want too much crayfish in your porridge yam. If not, it is going to be black. So note, too much onions and too much crayfish would give your porridge that's the sauce to be black, and who wants a black porridge? I mean, nobody. I know I don't. So once I cover the pot and I let it start boiling before I add in my yam. I like to do this so that once I put in my yam starts cooking immediately. Okay, so now I go in with my yam, and then it's good to cut your yam into equal sizes so that they all cook evenly and at the same time. You don't want some yam to be strong, some to be soft. So make sure when you're cutting it, it's at equal sizes. If you want yours big, if you want yours small, if you want yours medium like mine, then that's what you should do. Now I'm also going to be using mackerel fish for my porridge yam. That's Titus fish. So in Nigeria we call it Tatase fish. I don't know if any other part of the world calls it Tatase fish, but you could just say mackerel fish. So I cut my mackerel fish and I put it into the pot, and I'm going to cover it and let it steam till it's ready so that I could take it out and I'll be able to turn my yam. Okay, so you can't turn your yam once there's fish inside, except you want the fish to have like scattered pieces all around. I know some people like that, but for the purpose of this video, I wanted my fish to be whole. I didn't want it to scatter. So I'm just going to cover it and let it cook till the fish is ready. So once it's ready, you're going to see that it almost looks like it's separating from the bone, but not really. From the sides of the fish, you'll be able to tell. So as at this point, I take out my fish, and then I'm going to stir my yam around, and then there's this thing I'm going to do. Basically use the spoon, that's the wooden spatula or your spoon, whatever thing you're using to stir your yam. I use it to mash up the yam a bit. That's just so that it could thicken up my porridge. Okay, so there's an option to grate the yam into the porridge before you start cooking, as you pick up one of the yam and then you use a grater and then you grate it inside. That will also thicken the porridge, but personally I don't have the strength. I rather just cook it and then use my spoon to mash it up, some of the pieces of the yam, once it is ready. So that's what I'm going to do, and in a bit you're going to see that the porridge is thickened. Okay, so now as you can see, the sauce as at this point compared to the beginning part, this is very thick. Like, it's thick. This is what you want your porridge yam to be. If you want it thicker, you can mash up more yams, and don't use corn flour. We don't use corn flour to thicken porridge yam. Okay, you use the yam to thicken the porridge yam. Then I'm going to be adding in my chopped spinach. Bottom line is you just add in some vegetables. It's optional. Some people don't like vegetables in their porridge jam. I do, so I add in my vegetable, I stir it around, and you should taste and make sure that your seasoning is okay. As me, I didn't add any other thing because it was perfect. So I serve up my porridge jam with my fish, and this is what we're having. Everything was just looking pretty. Now, if you have any questions, you could just comment it and I would do my best to respond. If you love this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Please. Thank you so much, and see you guys next time in the next video.